Hello everyone, VegasVic1965. We're in 118, and this is an extra video this week, and it's basically the things that I do to get my gear, equipment, all those things that you need rather quickly, and I'm kind of hoping this will help you too in your Minecraft world. So, without further ado, let's find out. Welcome back, everyone. VegasVic1965. One of the first tips I probably would mention is what I do is I go out and look for a village. Now, having a desert village is a big plus, because if you find a village elsewhere, you need to worry about the villagers being struck by lightning in any thunderstorms. In a desert, there are no lightning strikes, so that's one huge plus. Now, I found this village right off the coast, making it very easy to get around. I want to make sure I got plenty of saplings. And then, of course, I want to build a couple of fletching tables. And the reason I do that, and that's the pattern you're going to be using to build the fletching table, is so you can sell sticks and to get these lovely shinies right here, the emeralds that you're going to need in order to get your the tools. And, of course, as you see over there, I built a trading hall. That's my standard go-to trading hall. That'll have all the librarians that you need for all your enchanting books. Now, toolsmiths with your smithing table, I usually go... And you can go out and mine for all the coal. It's going to take some time, or like I said, you can sell sticks to these guys right here, the Fletchers, to get all the emeralds that you're going to need. And you can build more if you want. I just needed 2. And then, of course, that opened up the smithing tables so I can get some tools from these guys. And instead of coal, I kind of save my coal. I'll go ahead and use like the stone axe or whatever they have to trade for the single one. Then the next thing you're going to need, of course, is an iron farm. And I'm using Frilioth's iron farm. I built it right over the water over there, and it's working great. So once you have the iron you need, you can then start leveling up these guys. Your toolsmiths, your armor smiths, and your weaponsmiths to get all the good trades that you need. I've got a couple of good trades in here that are fairly decent. There's arthropods, not really that great, but I have a couple of guys in here that do rather well. Let's see if we can't find some. Armor smith. This must be him running away from me right here. There he is. That's not a bad sword right there. Unbreaking 3 is usually what I look for, there's a tip for you. If you can find your blacksmiths with an unbreaking 3, either tool, weapon, or a piece of gear, then you're in great shape, because that's one less enchant you have to worry about as far as your levels go. From there, I make sure that I do secure the village, whether it's in a desert, if you're lucky enough to get one like I did close to the shore. If not, you want to make sure that you secure your village and you want to light it up. Now, it's not as bad as the older versions. You don't need to light it up as much. So I kind of went overkill on the torches here, but the more light, the better off you are. If you're playing, of course, on Java version, we have a mechanic called zombie sieges, which means at midnight, if you're there or you log out and log out in the village, there's a chance for a zombie siege, and that zombie siege could wreak havoc on your villagers. So make sure you have enough of these guys, the iron golems, around. But I kept mine in kind of close knit, lit it up pretty well. And if you're wondering about light levels when it comes to the zombie sieges, well, when the game mechanic doesn't even look at the light level, it doesn't matter. So those zombies, and there's quite a few of them that can come in and really cause a problem. Now, there's my standard go-to trading hall for my librarians, which you're definitely going to need. As you can see over there is some sugarcane and the shinies, the emeralds, in order to get that. And we're going to go over those guys next for the best emerald book prices. Okay, on to the librarians. And this tip, I guess you could say, is this trading hall that you see, I have that on my YouTube channel. Feel free to take a look at it. It is great. It is a great trading hall for servers that limit the amount of villagers that you can have in a certain area or a certain chunk. This unit is 2 floors and it holds 24 villagers, 12 down here and 12 upstairs. So if you'd like to build something like that, it's relatively simple, cheap, and easy. It doesn't require a whole lot, but it keeps these guys pretty well safe. Now, I've been playing for about a week. And maybe a few hours a day, and I've had the opportunity to breed these guys. And usually what I will do is I will just cordon off an area and then set the beds out. Because if these guys, as a tip for you, if these guys cannot get to the beds, they will not claim them. So as an example, if I cordon off this area over here and I drop in, let's say 3 beds, and I release these 2, first what I'll do is I'll drop in 3 bread to him and 3 bread to him. And bread is usually my go-to. Something else, like another tip, is a lot of these villages, except the Tiaga villages, a lot of these villages, including desert the plains, the savannas, they'll have hay blocks, and those hay blocks can be turned into, of course, wheat, and wheat turned into bread. And bread is, for me, is probably the best to use for breeding these guys, only because it takes a lot less. Each will need, so if you have a pair here, you'll need 3 bread for each one of these. And then once you want to make sure that you release them. So I'll feed them 3 bread each. 3 here, he'll wait for him to pick it up, drop 3 bread there, wait for him to pick it up, and then I'll let them out. But I want to have them cordoned off, and I'll have maybe 3 beds in here. Just don't put any beds next to the fences, or they'll climb up and over. Now what they will do is, since I've released just 2 of them and they see 3 beds, by morning or evening, since they have a job, they are going to look at that and say, hey, we have 3 beds and there's only 2 of us, because the rest of these guys cannot claim those beds. And that is on the Java version, of course. Bedrock works a little bit differently, but then they'll go ahead and breed either in the morning or in the evening after their workday or before their workday to breed 1 more villager. And then, of course, you can just shuffle them off. The little baby villagers will bounce around the beds. They have a little pattern they follow, and if you get more of them, they'll even play follow leader. It's really, really cute. I usually stand up here and wait for them to run into a stall and then block it off. It just saves me a lot more time than setting up a bunch of mine carts, especially when you're just starting out. I doubt you're going to have all the equipment you need to actually move them around the way you'd like to, and that's the mine carts, the rails, all those things. When you're starting out, this is simple. There's a lot of things that you won't have just yet. So getting on to our villagers and our trades, as you can see here, I've got some fairly decent prices. I got Silk Touch for 7, Smite 5 for 19. Now the best price you can get for the level 5 books is going to be 17. If you're looking at level 2 books, the best price is going to be 8. I know that's 13. I just took it. Why not? Now for the Feather Falling, any of the level 4 books, your best price is going to be 14. Now I was getting a little late in the game because I had already gotten a whole bunch. I saw Feather Falling 4 for 21, and it really depends on whether you can live with that price or not. But with a little patience, and I'm going to show you, there's a very easy way to cycle through these guys to find what you want. As you can see, Depth Strider for 11. For level 3 books, 11 is the best you're going to get. Another level 3 book, Thorns 3, 13, Infinity 6. For the single level books, in other words, like Mending and the others, without any levels, like 2, 3, 4, 5, then the single ones, the best price you're going to get is 5. Now there's an exception to that, and that is Mending. The lowest price you're going to get Mending is going to be 10, and I believe I have one of those, where we're going to do some cycling right up here. We'll go take a look and see what we got. Where are we at? We have Unbreaking 3 for 11. That's awesome. That's the lowest you can get an Unbreaking 3 book for, and Mending at 10. The other book that I have not seen less than 12, and that's a level 2 book, is that's Frostwalker. If you want that, that's not one of the books I normally go for, but it's totally up to you. So you see, I got some decent prices on these books, and if you're wondering how I do that, well, let's grab ourselves a villager and give it a little shot. Now, the way I have these trading halls set up is I have a half slab here, top half slab, plenty of light, but he can't get underneath there to mess with this workstation that I'm going to put down, which is Gorth the Lectern. I drop that workstation down, and on Java you can do this at any time of day. As you can see outside, it is nighttime, so you can continue right ahead and cycle through these guys at any time of the day. He picked up on the workstation. He's the only one that can on Java because it's all blocked in. On Bedrock, they can claim a workstation anywhere. And I've done some videos in the past for the villagers, like the librarians, on claiming workstations. And an example would be, and let me pop out here real quick if you're watching this on Bedrock, if you set this workstation down here just like this, you need to look in the room to find the green particles. And those green particles is the villager that will accept that workstation first. There's like an order of things for Bedrock. So once you set that down and you see green particles, let's say it was this gentleman over here, you'll break that workstation and you'll take it over to him, and that's where you start. But on Java, it's not that way. If they cannot pathfind to it, they will not accept it. So we set the workstation down. We'll take a look and see what he's got to trade. Impaling 2, not exactly something I'm looking for. Impaling actually goes all the way up to 4. I'm sorry, to 5. You break the workstation, drop it back down again. He will then reacquire it. We have Impaling 3. No, that's not what I want. So if you don't like what you see, just break the workstation, go back to Unemployed, drop the workstation down again. You'll pick it back up, and you just continue that cycle until you find the book that you need and at the price you need. You don't have to settle, but if you have a little patience, you can get some really good prices, just like you see inside this trading hall. Okay, now I mentioned the book prices. I'm going to put on your screen right now so you can see the exact prices that you can achieve for each level of book. This will help you determine whether or not you think that's a good price or something that you can live with. But those will be the lowest prices depending on the level, and that should make it a lot easier for you to see. So just refer to that chart whenever you need it. The last thing I want to mention to you is when you are about to trade and cycle through these guys, you want to make sure that you have emeralds on hand and paper on hand, because they are going to be offering you a couple of different trades. Their first two trades, and that's going to be for either Bedrock or for Java, it's going to be either a book trade or bookshelf trade, or it could be a paper trade and a book trade. But it's either going to be paper, bookshelf, or it's going to be an enchanted book. But it's one of those three, and you definitely want to make sure that you have the items on hand in case you do find the book at the right price that you want. Because if you don't and you have to run out to get the stuff that you need to trade him, there is a chance that when you do get back that his trades will change, and that goes for either version, Bedrock or Java. Those trades that they have only last for so long, and they'll pick another trade. And when you get back, you might have something like, for example, we have Respiration 3 for 11 here that I picked up on and locked in. And then you run out, since you see that also for 11, you run out and start harvesting your sugarcane over there, and you come back, all of a sudden now he's got Impaling 1 for 28. Make sure that you have, and that's a big tip, make sure you have the items on hand to trade him so you can lock him in as soon as you get the correct book at the correct price that you're willing to live with. Well, that's about going to do it for this week's extra video on tips and tricks to get you started in your Minecraft 1.18 world. At least this is what I do. Hopefully it helps you in your Minecraft world. And if you have any questions, I spent a lot of time around villagers. I love these guys. They're what helps me get these items right here in less than a week. Imagine in just a few days I'm able to get this type of equipment. And you can too if you follow these little tips and tricks that I give you. So if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to subscribe for past or future videos, click that subscribe button. It really helps me and lets me know I provide great quality content for you guys each and every week. So I hope you enjoy 1.18 as much as I have, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.